So, hello, welcome to our workshop on applying to Kajungiqsaut Grants. My name is Amy Norman. I am the manager of the Artist Services Department here with the Inuit Art Foundation. I'm born and raised in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, Labrador. My family ties are to Northwest River and Nain in Nunatsiavut. And yeah, I'll be one of the presenters here this morning or afternoon. Um, Kyle, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Kyle Netkusiak Aleekuk. I'm the program officer at the Inuit Art Foundation. I was born in Edmonton, but my family ties are to Ulahuktuk and Inuvik, and I'm currently in Edmonton.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen. Give me 1 second here. Can we see this okay?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So just a reminder, today's online session will be recorded and it will be made available on the Inuit Art Foundation's Developing Haunotonic Artist portal. So this is our online hub for Inuit artists with a ton of professional development resources, funding opportunities, and ways to connect with other artists. And if you have any questions during this presentation, you can drop them in the chat or the Q&A box, which should be towards the bottom on the Zoom bar. And yeah, just let us know if you have any questions. So, about Kajungiqsaut Grants. This is our funding initiative that is dedicated to supporting Inuit working in the arts. It's co-developed in partnership with Canada Council for the Arts, and Kajungiqsaut Grants are accessible, culturally relevant funding supports that support Inuit creatives to pursue their many and multifaceted ambitions, especially first-time applicants. Kajungiqsaut Grants values self-determination, skills development, and the crucial time needed to dream, grow, and create throughout an individual's journey in the arts. So there's three different funding streams that are available through the grants. We'll just go over each of them. The first one is Suturutit, which means to gain material. So getting new tools and materials to make work can be one of the first challenges artists face to creating new pieces. Suturutit provides opportunities for artists to fund these purchases. This grant can cover things like purchasing artistic materials and supplies, including hunting tools for gathering natural materials, travel costs for gathering natural materials, and delivery costs for transporting or shipping artistic materials and supplies. Grants of $500 or $1,000 are available, and emerging artists are strongly encouraged to apply. The second stream is Inukarvik, which means to make space. So all artists need room to breathe, time to think and experiment. Inukarvik provides Inuit creatives from all disciplines the financial support for small to medium scale activities with a focus on learning, experimentation, and development. This is particularly useful for artists seeking to develop ideas further, to test things out, to practice or learn new skills, to reignite play in their art practice, and more. So proposals for all disciplines will be considered for grants of $3,500 or $5,000. And activities that can be covered under this grant include, but are not limited to, things like creation of artworks, experimenting with a new medium, creative residencies, practical or curatorial research, training or mentorship opportunities to develop artistic skills, renting workspace, marketing artwork to presenters or audiences, developing a website or portfolio, participating in arts events such as art fairs or pop-ups, and publishing or self-publishing written materials such as novels, essays, poetry, zines, all kinds of stuff. The third stream that we'll talk about is Turgak or Vision. Turgak was designed for the delivery of large-scale activities that are focused and refined. It's best suited for established artists or curators who want to produce a well-planned project or body of work, impart skills or knowledge to others, exhibit work, and more. Priority will be given to proposals that demonstrate artistic vision, clear outcomes, and community engagement over those with a commercial focus. So proposals from all disciplines will be considered for grants of $10,000 or $15,000. Activities can include, but are not limited to, creation of artworks, creative residencies, facilitating workshops or skill sharing opportunities, exhibiting artwork, publishing or self-publishing written materials like novels, essays, poetries, and zines. So those are the three streams. Here's kind of a summary of them. So we have our smaller materials grant, Sutarutit, the small to medium scale in a Karvik. That's really about experimenting and having a bit of breathing room. And then Turagak, which is the larger scale for more established artists, I would say. So these three streams are all part of Kajungiqsaut Grants, and two are currently open. Right now we have Sutarutit and Turagak open, and then Inakarvik will open later in December. So you can see the deadlines, the dates and times there for you. And this is all also on our website, so don't fear if you missed the slide. I will say too, if you feel like you're not sure which grant stream would be best for you, we have put together a guide that helps you figure that out. You can find it on our Kajungiqsaut Grants website under the How to Apply section. And we really encourage you to speak one-on-one with Kyle, our program officer, who's here to support you during the application process and answer any questions you have. There is no question too big or too small. So let's move on to talk about some general eligibility.
Sure.
Kyle, thanks.
Yeah. So general eligibility for Kajungiqsaut grants, you must meet the following eligibility criteria. You must be Inuk and living in Canada with citizenship, permanent residence, or refugee status. And for Sutarutit only, you must live outside of Ontario. If you live in Ontario, you have the same opportunity to apply to the Indigenous Visual Artist Materials Grant through Ontario Arts Council. Some more general eligibility, you must be at least 18 years old, have specialized training in your artistic discipline, and just to note that academic accreditation is not a requirement. You must be recognized as an artist by your peers, for example, artists working in the same artistic tradition, for a minimum of 1 year. And you should be committed to continually furthering your artistic practice. Now I'll go over the application process and some of the options for submission. There are several different ways you can apply to Kajungiqsaut grants. You can submit your application via email, mail, or by spoken submission, either via phone call or through audio recordings. You can submit your application in either English or Inuktitut. All necessary translations will be provided by the Inuit Art Foundation. So, required application materials specific to Sutarutit. There are several things that make up the application, but they're slightly different depending on which stream you're applying for. For Sutarutit, the required application materials are a completed and signed application form. You'll need a bio of 250 words maximum. And in this bio, we'd like you to share your community and family ties to Inuit Nunat, where you learn the skills you have today, for example, from elders in the community, if you're self-taught, any mentorship or education or training. Also, if you have participated in any exhibitions, community performances, trade shows, had your work published in a book, magazine, or catalog, or other professional opportunities. We also require a proposal description, which is 1 page maximum. In this section, we'd like you to please tell us what you plan on doing with this funding, should you be recommended for funding, including the following information if applicable. What medium will you use or explore? Is there a specific theme you will explore? And what materials do you need to finish your work? Also, importantly, we require examples of your work. So please provide up to 8 images of your best artistic work in one of the following formats. We accept JPEGs, PDFs, PNGs, or HEIC, which is for the iPhone. Uh, Please be mindful of the quality of your images. They should be clear, detailed, and show the quality of your work. We have a helpful hints document that's available if you need any tips on how to best document your work. And we also have a workshop on photographing your artwork that you can watch if you need any guidance on this step. Both of these resources are linked in the application form itself, so you can easily refer to them if you need. So next up is required application materials for Inukarvik. For Anakarvik and Turigak, the application is slightly different and a bit longer. This is because these are larger grants for bigger projects and typically focus on artists who are a bit further along in their career. So for Anakarvik, you'll see the same requirements as Sutarutit. You'll need a completed and signed application form, an artist bio, a proposal description of 2-page max. Please note that the maximum length for Anakarvik is longer. You can submit up to 2 pages for your proposal description. Um, Also, examples of your work and a budget. So, budgets are an opportunity to show the peer assessors or jury that your project is viable and also where you need funding the most. Please provide details about your expenses so the jury can easily understand what expenses you will be incurring. It doesn't have to be complicated or daunting. We have an example budget in the helpful hints document that you can use as a template for creating your own budget. Essentially, all you need is 2 sections. First, write out your list of revenues or where you're getting money from. If you've received any other grants for this project from another organization, that's where you'd list it. And then you'd write out your expenses. This is the part of your project that costs money. So, eligible expenses, your expenses could include things like materials and tools, so beads, sealskin, stone, paint, or equipment like a sewing machine, angle grinder, digital camera. You can include general living expenses like rent, gas, utilities, childcare, uh, training opportunities such as workshops or mentorships, renting a studio or workspace, travel, so flights, rental cars, shipping costs, also paying yourself for time, for example, paying yourself $30 an hour. You can include any fees or honorariums and website costs, such as domain and web design. These are just some examples of what types of expenses are eligible under Kajungiqsaut grants. If there are other expenses you might incur in your project and you're not sure if it would be eligible, you can always reach out to me and ask. So required application materials for Turigak. This application process for Turigak is very similar to Anakarvik. Again, you'll need a completed and signed application form, an artist bio, proposal description of 2 pages max, examples of your work, a budget, and an artist CV. So some tips on writing your artist CV. You might ask, what is an artist CV? Different from your biography, which is more personal look at you and your story. Please include your artistic resume as a way to give the peer assessment committee or jury a more detailed overview of your career and accomplishments to help them understand your practice better. We recommend including the following information if it's relevant to you. If you have a history of showcasing your work through exhibitions, performances that you have participated in, any albums you've performed on or released, films you have helped to make, or any publication history that you have. Also, education or training. So, family or community-based mentorships, formal post-secondary education, or any workshop certificates. You can include collections, so public or private collections that your art is a part of, such as Government of Nunavut Inuit Fine Art Collection, the Art Gallery of Guelph, uh, Winnipeg Art Gallery, or TD Bank Collection. You can also include honors and awards, and any recognitions that you have received in the past, such as the Kanuiwak Memorial Award, the Sobe Art Award, Ontario Arts Council Indigenous Arts Award, and you can also include any TV, radio, or online interviews, artist talks, panel discussions, things of that nature. And you can also include any publications in which your work has been included, such as the Inuit Art Quarterly. Some helpful hints. Like I mentioned before, there's a helpful hints webpage that outlines some tips to help you make your application as strong as possible. But I'll review some of these tips so you know how to submit your best application. Biggest one is give yourself lots of time. Allow for ample time to gather your thoughts and put your application together, and choose your support material without having to rush. Double check the guidelines. It's easy to miss things. We've all done it. Make sure to follow the application guidelines carefully and double check as you go. Choose your strongest work. So pick examples of your work that best represent you and show off your skills. If you're not sure, try asking a trusted friend, family member, or colleague for advice on what they see as your strongest work and why. You can also consider including sketches or mock-ups. So if you're planning to experiment with a new medium or discipline, make sure to include some preparatory sketches or mock-ups that will show the peer assessors what you plan to do. Also, very importantly, proofread your application. Read through your application a few times out loud if you can hear how it sounds. It can also be helpful to ask a friend or family member to proofread or give you feedback on your application. And above all, ask for help. We're here to provide support and answer questions. So prior to you reaching out or submitting your application, just reach out to us to book out some one-on-one support. We want to help you be successful in your application. So don't be afraid to reach out for assistance. I can't stress this enough. If at any point you need something explained more clearly, need additional help, or have questions about your application, don't hesitate to contact us. So evaluation criteria and assessment process. When you apply for a Kajungiqsaut grant, your application is reviewed by a group of fellow Inuit artists from across different fields and practices within the broader Inuit arts community. All applications are reviewed over the course of 2 days, and they're evaluated based on the following criteria. Artistic merit. So peer assessors will be looking at artistic quality and creativity of your work and proposed activities, as well as level of clarity in describing your artistic practice. Peer assessors also look at the viability and impact. Peer assessors will be determining whether your proposed activities seem clear, realistic, and achievable based on the information you provide, as well as gauging the impact the activities will have on your artistic career and or community. And finally, the quality of applications. Peer assessors will be looking to make sure you've completed all the requirements in the application form, sent in all your required supporting documents and artistic examples, and will assess the quality of everything you submit. While these details may seem small, they do count towards your overall assessment. So please make sure to triple check everything. These criteria are weighted differently depending on which stream you're applying to, but no matter the stream, you are evaluated in all three areas. And on that note, we're always looking for folks to join us as peer assessors. So if you're interested, we encourage you to reach out and discuss.
Awesome.
Q&A.
Yeah. Do we have any questions? A couple folks here. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Um, no pressure. We're always available too after the fact if you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, I should have asked about this. Don't worry, we're here. You can find us via email and get your questions answered that way.
Yeah, or give me a phone call.
Yep.
Always here.
I think on that note, I have my email and phone number up here. Kyle, I should have put yours too.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Ah,
Thanks, Paige.
Paige. Awesome. We'll give folks another minute or so if you have any more questions, but otherwise, that kind of wraps up what we have to say. I want to shout out Paige for helping behind the scenes and making sure everything runs smoothly. And thank you to Kyle, of course, for presenting.
Yeah, thank you as well.
Thanks. And Paige just dropped the link in the chat. You can find all the program info there and download the applications there. We do have a question. So, do you fund mainly traditional artists? No, we fund all kinds of artists. Some more traditional, some more contemporary. You kind of see a bunch of everything, really. I don't know if Kyle, you wanted to add anything there.
No, we definitely do have a lot of more like traditional artist supply to the grants, but yeah, it's mainly up to what the peer assessors see on who they would like to see funded, really. But it's a mixed bag. There's, like you said, Amy, there's lots of more traditional artists and then a lot of more like contemporary artists.
Great question, though. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, but we can still stick around if folks have more questions. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. All right. Well, let's call it here then. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope to see an application come in and hopefully we can get you some funding there.
Yeah, and to anybody who's watching the recording of this, and you got any questions, feel free to email me or give me a phone call.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day.